Hello and welcome to MetraAV Tech Tip Solutions. I'm Brent.
I'm Adam.
And it's Friday.
It is Friday.
So what do we do on Friday, Adam?
Well, Friday we talk about a product that of ours that specifically correlates to whatever we talked about last Wednesday.
And what did we talk about last Wednesday?
We talked about surveillance storage and whether or not it's best to have surveillance storage local or in the cloud or somewhere in between.
And I believe we came up with somewhere in between as the best location.
It's the ultimate thing. Now, of course, what we're going to talk about today is our wireless Nvr Kit. And on this setup, you have local storage.
Oh, wait. You're ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you still got to do your...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's got local storage and it's got remote access.
Ah, remote access is wonderful because that means we can see it from anywhere.
Yes, well, and cloud access might be the best way to put it because it's not just remote access, which you can do with a local storage unit as well, but this is cloud access because we're using an account-based system to actually access it. We don't have to do any port forwarding or anything.
So if I'm somewhere else in the world, like say Barcelona next week.
Yep, exactly.
Because I'll be there.
And you're not rubbing it in or anything.
Not as far as you know.
Not at all, anyways.
So I could look in on my system and say, hey, what are my dogs doing?
Yes, you can. So with that said, everybody, before we get into the details of this unit, as always, we really appreciate you checking us out on our video today. If you have any questions about whatever it is that we're talking about, of course, with this product, please feel free to leave it either over in the chat section over on the side or down in the comment section below if you're watching this after the fact. We do monitor those as well. And of course, as always, make sure to reach out to your sales rep and or your distributor for availability and pricing. So this unit here specifically is the SPYP-NVR4 or 8W.
So I'm going to assume by that mean this can either be a 4-channel with 4 cameras or an 8-channel with 8 cameras purchased as a kit.
That's correct. So with this one here, what I have here in front of us directly, this one is the 4-channel one. However, the 8-channel looks exactly like this.
Okay. Well, while you're holding it up, let's talk about that. What is the proper way to install a wireless camera NVR system?
So I'm really glad you brought that up, actually. And this is not scripted, but this is something that we get calls on quite a bit. Is how should we hook everything up? How far can the signal travel? You know, how does all this work? So to answer your question specifically,
and the reason I asked that question is because Lewis
yeah.
said, don't forget to tell them to set it on the wall.
Yeah.
High.
Yeah, put it up on the wall as high as it can possibly go. So actually right here, where I'm holding it, if you can go higher than this, as high as you can put it is really the best thing to do.
Just like any Wi-Fi system.
Yep, exactly. You also want to make sure that your antennas are perpendicular to the floor. You really don't want to have them on the same plane as the floor because the signal from these antennas is actually radiating out from the antenna line. It's not shooting out the end of it like a rifle, right? And with that said, same thing with the cameras. So this is a 4-channel kit is specifically where this came from. But again, the 8-channel kit, the only difference is the number of cameras that come with the kit. With the wireless cameras, you do want to do the same thing. Make sure that your antennas are perpendicular to the ground or the floor, whatever is the surface that you're going to be standing on beneath the camera. Make sure that it's perpendicular to that, with an asterisk on top of that, because there are a few caveats that you want to be aware of when you're setting this up. And one of the first things is that wireless is fantastic because it's wireless, but unfortunately it can be difficult because it's wireless.
Well, and the other thing to remember is wireless is not 100% wireless. You do have to get power.
This is true.
To the units. And by the way, our little accessory pieces like this are excellent because it gives you a little bit of depth behind the camera to stuff all the wires in it.
That's right.
And make for a clean installation.
That's right. So with that said, let's go ahead and talk about the details of this unit here. And in fact, I'm going to give us a top-down shot so we can see what it looks like while we're doing that. Brent, if you want to hold it, I can go through the details. How about that? You want to be the Vanna White for a second? So this is the specifically the 4-channel, but it's also the 8-channel as well. I'm going to read directly from the website, everybody. So feel free to read along.
You can read right along.
Exactly, you can read right along with us. It's designed for ease of setup and installation with the 8 1080p wireless cameras, or 4, depending on how many cameras you have, that are included with it. You can connect to view and playback from any iOS or Android mobile device or Windows PC. That's very important also to note. It needs to be a Windows PC. The SPYP-NVR8 or 4W is the easy choice for smaller sized video surveillance needs. That's read directly from the website, so you can check that out as well.
It does have an HDMI port on it?
Yes, it does.
A USB port on it?
That's right.
A VGA port on it?
Yep.
So it's and I believe an audio out.
It does, yeah. So this one is, now it has an audio out, but it's not an actual, the cameras don't have audio microphones or audio inputs on them. However, that's one feature of this system that wasn't really a feature for our older systems. This one here can be expanded. So we can have 4 or 8 that come in a kit. However, you can actually expand this, and we look up the exact specification. You can have a total of nine cameras on this one system.
So if you buy the four banger kit as your needs grow,
yes,
you can purchase additional cameras from your SPY-Club salesperson.
Yep.
And add them to it.
And they don't have to be the wireless cameras that come in the kit. Any of our IP cameras that we have, you can tie into the same network that this is sitting on, and you can view those cameras on this NVR. It's a true NVR. It's not just a locked-in kit.
It's not a locked-in kit like the old days.
Exactly.
That's incredibly flexible.
Yeah.
And it gives people a lot of room for growth for either small commercial or small residential. As your needs grow, you're not locked in. You don't have to replace anything.
Correct. So actually this one here, because of the audio output, we do have cameras now that have microphones, and that audio output will work with those cameras.
And we certainly have HDMI extenders, so if you need to go the distance.
Yes, that's right. So this one here, also, it's a 12-volt power supply on the side here. It does have one USB connection. This one USB is for either the mouse that comes with it, so you can control the on-screen interface, or you use that also for backing up any kind of video you want to on a thumb drive. Now you'll notice there's only one USB, so what do you do if you have a mouse and a USB? Well,
I would do the little wireless dongle would be for me.
Well, that doesn't quite work. So if you want to use the USB stick for backing up, you have to, when you go through the settings to actually back up the recording, you'll get to a certain point where you find your video that you want to back up, you go to click the backup button, and it gives you a countdown for you to unplug the mouse.
And plug the stick in.
Oh,
that's nice.
Yep, exactly.
You have 30 seconds before you explode, Jim Phelps.
There you go. With the HDMI output, this is, pardon me, goodness.
1080p.
It's a 1080p output. Double check myself on that.
So at any point in time, you can see 4 of the cameras, 4 of the 8 or 9.
Yep. It comes with a 1 terabyte hard drive internally. However, it can be upgraded to hold up to 8 terabytes.
That's a lot of data.
That's a lot of data, especially if you're only using 4 wireless cameras. At 1080p, you can record for quite a while on that as well.
Now, obviously, you can put it horizontal on a shelf because the antennas are very flexible in the installation. So if you've got a high shelf, just not a metal shelf.
Yes. From there, everybody, some specs about the cameras themselves. These are 2 megapixel 1080p resolution cameras at 20 frames per second. It's a 3.6 millimeter fixed lens, so you don't have zoom or focus
also makes for a simple installation.
Super simple installation. You just point it in the general direction of where you want to view. With a 3.6 millimeter fixed lens, you're looking at just under 90-degree angle of view out of this camera.
And if you get your account fully set up before you install this, it's really easy to look at your phone or a pad and get your cameras focused in.
Exactly. It's super easy. We walk people through that all the time. Feel free to give us a call. We're happy to help out with that as well. This also has infrared night vision LEDs on it as well. Up to 25 meters is the rated distance for those LEDs to be able to see what's happening. It's got a digital wide dynamic range, which means it's going to have much greater viewing capabilities, and it's also going to have better color on it as well. Yeah, very good picture. It's got a DC power input. Again, like Brent said, it does require power at the camera, so it's not 100% wireless. However, this is just a standard 12-volt, 1-amp camera, so you can use any kind of 12-volt, 1-amp
power supply.
Exactly. So if you have a pre-existing power system with like an analog system, you can use this.
If you want to update to a new system, just swap out the cameras, go wireless, and rock on.
Yep. It's also IP66 rated for indoor and outdoor installations. So from there, the other cool features about the NVR itself, I'm going to switch us back over to here. Hello, everybody. Hit the right button again, make that work right. So the other cool things about the NVR is that this supports H.265 and 265 plus.
Which gives you lots of storage.
Yes.
And high quality.
We actually did an entire episode on that as well. So go back and look at that episode where we talk about the differences between H.264, H.265, MJPEG, and
how much space, how much time you get in a given area.
Exactly. So as always, everybody, reach out to your sales rep, reach out to your distributor about availability and pricing for this unit here. Again, this is the SPYP-NVR4W is what this one is. If you want the 8-channel, it's 8W. That's the only difference between the two of them. Cool?
Wow.
That's it.
Well, in that case, I'm Brent.
I'm Adam.
Reboot early.
Reboot often.
Don't cut your wires too short.
Turn off CEC.
Call tech support.
Yep.
And
20 meters for an HD base T.
20 meters for HD base T on your category cable. Have a great day.
We'll see y'all later.